Okay, we're good to go. All right, we're going to call the meeting to order at 12:01. Thank you, everybody, for adjusting the time, so I didn't have to get up at 5 a.m. to be on the call. All right, so first thing up, public comment. Do we have anybody waiting in the lobby, Bill?
There's currently nobody in attendance from the public.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is the approval of the July 2024 minutes, which I sent over with the agenda. Anybody have any corrections or changes?
No, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Vince, second. Amy, you're gonna have to do it. Okay, second, Amy. All right, any discussion? All those in favor of approval, raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Okay, status of replacements for Ed Gillespie. We're still striking out. We don't have anybody yet, so we need ideas. Oh, there's Matt.
Hello.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so thoughts on how we dig somebody up, because only having 3 or 4 commissioners, anybody who doesn't show, we're kind of stuck. So if we could really put our thinking caps on and think about what else we could use on the commissioner, anybody that we think is might be interested. Laura, you look like you want to say something, yeah?
I was just gonna ask what kind of background or experience you would like to add to the commission, because again, it's hard. People are interested, but I don't know that they have any television or marketing experience. And I think we need something obviously relevant to what the station does.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we need to continue to look for. So has anything happened with Katie Dunn?
I spoke with, well, I didn't speak with her, I texted with her. She's working on The Walking Dead right now. And she's
Literally
been,
the show?
I don't know if there's a follow-up series or anything, but she's been working and she's been really busy. She gave me the name of a friend of hers and she never reached out, but it's possible that this friend ended up getting a job. Because again, they all work in TV and everybody's just sort of, it was really slow for a while and now I guess production is picking up. So I have a friend, I mean, there's a couple ways we can, we can proceed. I have a friend whose son graduated from college and mentioned to me that her son has experience with, or like studied social media marketing. If we want to, I don't know if these, if he's looking, I don't know if he's got a job, but I know that a lot of, kids who graduated in May are looking, and I'm more than happy to reach out to him and see if he's interested in helping us.
Yeah, why don't you do that? The other thing that that Ed had started to do was reaching out to Sacred Heart, right?
It was Fairfield. I had started reaching out to them, but the problem that I came up against was that Trumbull Public Schools already has an account for teacher interns. And since my email has the same domain name, they kept trying to push me into their account, which is not, you know what I mean? It's a handshake, because that's what they use for internship opportunities. So I do have a name and I can follow up with that person as well.
Yeah, why don't you try that? And then also check Sacred Heart. I mean, this still doesn't solve the commission problem.
Right.
It's getting us some additional marketing support that we can pay for.
Right.
But I think everybody just needs to keep their thinking caps on.
Right. Do you want me to contact my friend about her son, or would you rather I go through the university?
Whatever you think is most expedient.
Okay.
Because I think we have an opportunity. I mean, we need to talk about the election programming, but I think there will be interest in how Trumbull votes. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're anticipating. I'm moderating one of the polls, so there's gonna, we expect a huge turnout.
Right.
So we can get to that when we get to programming. Okay,
Mhm.
videographer status, I think you said when school went back into session, you would refresh your efforts to find student videographers, right?
Yes, and I ran into Nick Dodonna in the hallway and he did mention that he wanted to have a little field trip to the studio with his students soon,
Okay,
which is
perfect.
great.
Because I think that, the high school sports programming we've been covering has been well received.
Yes, we have a lot. Actually, I put out a spreadsheet and between Matt, Memphis and Garrett, we're covering all but 1, 2, 3, 4 games this fall, which is
Awesome.
great. But again, I'm more than happy to have more student videographers because again, it's better to have that,
Okay. All right, I need to make up the schedule for 2025 for our meetings. So has this cadence of like every 6 weeks worked for people?
Yeah,
I kind of feel like it's like monthly was too much. Every other month is probably too long, but the every 6 weeks seems to work. So if you guys agree, I'll pull that schedule together for our next meeting.
yeah, it seems
Any
to be working
thoughts?
fine.
What about the 8 a.m. via Zoom thing? Does this time of day, does noon work better?
I prefer mornings, but I can accommodate noon as well if we need to.
Laura, preference?
either works for me. I mean, I have a webcam now, so I can, you can see me and
It's a good
I-
picture, yeah.
exactly.
Amy, how about you?
Yeah, for me, the afternoons are easier, but I don't also want to be the only one that everything's being changed for. So yeah, afternoons are easier for me to hit. The mornings are too crazy, unfortunately.
Well, why don't I why don't I get the dates the next meeting and then we can, hopefully Jens will be on too, and we can talk about making a decision, because I can go either way. It's just lunchtime and our meetings rarely go for a full hour. So I think for a long time, I really felt like mornings worked better for me, but I've got a little more flexibility in my schedule now and uh, I'm less dedicated to that time than I was. So, okay, so I'll bring the meeting schedule to October, right? Yeah, meeting and rediscuss. Time of day. Okay. Finance, yeah, we're like 2 months into the 2024-25 budget, so we're on budget. In good shape. And Laura, I did see your other question. I just don't have my folder with me, so when I get back to Connecticut, I will answer your question. I
That's
just
fine. And
I
all
don't
right,
remember.
that's
I
fine.
gotta say.
It's
I'm
not a
old.
rush.
I can't remember what. I'm pretty sure, but then we gotta fix it for July, or in August, so I promise.
Okay, it always gets fixed in the end.
Yeah. The one thing I do have to do is get back to Maria on the ARPA funds. Now, I am finding, how do I put this? The finance department is not as responsive as they historically have been, with Dan Martin retiring. Usually things were pretty buttoned up for us. I didn't have many issues and things seem a little kookier right now. So I'm hoping that they get, not that I dealt with Dan on a day-to-day basis, but if I had other issues, he would jump in and resolve. And I really don't, I don't want to bother Maria about, invoices being paid unless I don't have to. So I'm assuming that she is filling some of Dan's roles. Bill, would that be accurate? So she's got to be super busy. Maybe Bill can't hear me. Bill definitely can't hear me. Did you hear what I said,
Here's his name.
Bill?
You were saying finance is busy with Dan retiring, and I would agree with that.
You would agree with that? Okay, so I'm trying not to bug Maria, but I think I'm going to for this project that we want to get done. Okay. And have they hired somebody to replace Dan?
Not yet. They're in the process. I know Civil Service had a meeting the other day to approve the list of candidates. So they're
Okay,
working on it.
okay. All right, programming. Laura,
Programming, we are finishing the summer concert series. So that's all done. We are picking up on sports. As I said earlier, we've got a lot of coverage for home games of sports, which is great. We're going to be live streaming football games again.
hold
from-
on, just home games on sports, so that's all fall sports?
Right, home games only.
But like boys and girls soccer, field
Right,
hockey.
exactly. Girls volleyball, field hockey, boys and girls soccer, and football, I believe.
And then live stream football, okay, home
Yes.
football.
Football will be live streamed, and we're teaming up again with Jeff Alterman and the Trumbull Eagle Network for their audio stream, which has been working really well. You know, it's a really nice teamwork effort for both of us, because it kind of helps, you know, he gives great audio because he will have somebody to help him do play-by-play and color commentary, and then we, you know, provide the visual for his broadcast. So that is that.
So that would be really great, though, to be able to promote that
Yes,
beyond the channel. That's one where I'd like to see us, you know, and the fact that we're covering all the home games of the other sports on Trumbull Moms, you know, whatever all those outlets.
right. And Jeff has been very gracious about, you know, tying in TCTV to his promotions. He'll post things on Facebook, and when we're broadcasting together, he always mentions TCTV in his audio commentary. He always mentions the station, you know, oh, Jeff from Trumbull Eagle Network here with TCTV. And so he's been very good about, you know, creating that partnership.
If we can just make sure that he also says, you know, if you want to watch this live streamed, go here.
Okay,
Or here's the website if you want to watch video on demand.
right, okay.
Maybe just do a little card for him so he's got those the reference info.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, what else we got?
What else do we got? Well, since the presidential election is coming, I reached out to Katie Boland, who is the social studies teacher extraordinaire at the high school. And she said that she had a student who had some ideas and wanted to take the lead on the programming. So she and I both said, great. He came down to the studio yesterday, which is awesome. He had some ideas for doing election, excuse me, election day coverage, like recording on site. You know, asking people at the polling stations what issues are of importance to them and how they feel about the election in general, which I think is great. We wouldn't be able to do that live because again, that would be just, it's a lot of logistics and it would be happening all day or presumably in the afternoon. And, you know, I don't know that we would be want to stay on the air until all the results came in, but I do think that would be some interesting content post-election. And then I also asked if he had any thoughts about something we could do leading up to the election. Like if he had any thoughts about that. And he did say that he was thinking about, he wanted to create something about like how the election works, you know, because Trumbull High School, there are going to be a lot of seniors who will be eligible to vote who've never voted before. So how the election, you know, how it works, what to expect. He mentioned something about, you know, why Connecticut has a certain number of electoral votes. And I said, that's great stuff. And I also, I sent to him and to Katie, well, I sent to Katie Boland to send to him the 2023, and then I think it was the 2021 election night shows, so he could see what was done in the past. And then I also sent him the videos, well, Katie, the videos that her class put together the year before last when it was a non-municipal election, where they did little profiles on each of the offices that were up for election, just to give him some ideas. And then, so we're gonna be in contact for that, and I showed him the studio. I said, we will be your technical crew. You know, if you need to use the studio, if you guys, use iPhone, if they use iPhone and edit things together, that's fine. We can still work that together, but I definitely want to work with them on creating something to showcase him and the bicentennial We the People kids.
Because there's a lot of local elections and state level elections that are consequential, presidential, great. We're not going to know who wins the presidency by
Right.
Connecticut's numbers, but all, US Senate, Himes is up. We got state Senate races. We got a state house race, which are pretty, I think will end up being pretty high profile in Trumbull. So
Right.
we want to make sure that it's not, that he's thinking not just about presidential. So
Okay.
he's on We the People team?
I believe so.
Okay, so
I'm
I'll
pretty sure he
start
is.
talking to Katie because we got to sort of flesh this out, but that's
Yeah, but I
Good.
think I think where he's started, he's got a good starting spot. And he was definitely open to suggestions. So I think if we talked to Katie and said, hey, can we make sure that in his planning, he includes these things, however he chooses to, present that with his teammates, I think he'd be amenable to
I
that.
think I already saw her post that they were making, get out the vote signs.
Right, and then I'm sure the videos will be coming soon too.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Student led, love it. All right, what else?
That is our original programming. I mean, I think that could, that could be a number of, pieces or length.
Yeah, we're only 8 weeks away, so could be a lot
Yeah.
of content there.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
nice.
yeah, that was that for the new content. Oh, Restaurant Week is coming. And on Wednesday, September 18th, I and possibly Matt will be meeting up with Rena at Mex on Main to record another promo for Restaurant Week.
And when is restaurant week?
I don't know. Hold on a second, let me see. Oops,
It's October 4th to 11th.
thanks, Bill.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna do some promotion around that. Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Okay, any other thoughts from the commissioners on things we should be covering? Is the Arts Festival happening?
The Arts Festival is happening. I believe, hold on a second. Richie's gonna be recording the entertainment again.
Okay. All right, anything else we should be? Vince, Amy, we should be covering?
Not from my end.
Okay,
And
All
I
right.
have, and the other thing with Trumbull High is I've been working with Alex Cavacci, who took over for Kathy Hilser. So she's been in touch about the post-high school planning events. So the station will be recording those, and I also mentioned to her if there was anything that she wanted to use the studio for, to let me know. We could work together on that.
Okay. Good. Maybe Kathy was pretty good to work with, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, technical.
Technical. So we're still waiting on the ARPA funding for the studio TLC, which is yeah, Jeff Van Steenberg said something this morning. He's like, oh, when are we gonna this hasn't been done yet? I'm like, no. So That'll be good. The other thing I was working on is doing a little bit of research on replacing the Sling Studio equipment because knock wood, it's been working great, but it's gonna work great until it doesn't. So I've looked into I was trying to look into replacement things that are reasonable because some equipment is like $24,000, which is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing that, I wonder, it looked like it was two of the things I found looked like they were similar, very similar to Sling Studio. And if that's the case, no wonder they went out of business because they
Right.
were grossly undercharging. But there's a company called YOLO Live, which
Yep.
creates YOLO Box. And that's about 60, like it comes, the one that I was looking at comes with a cage kit, which goes around the unit just to hold the cables in and serves as like a shade, is about 1,700 from a couple different places. It serves as the control panel and the hub. All audio and video inputs are plugged in there. We would need wireless video transmitters and receivers. Hollyland is a reputable company for that. They're about $300 each. You would need one per camera, and that's akin to the camera link that we use with Sling Studio.
So I have notes from our June meeting that we were talking about this and it was about a $5,000 replacement. in
I
total.
added up the numbers for 4 cameras. I calculated about between 3,000, like around 3,000.
Well, why don't you get me the details because I can try to roll this into the other
Okay.
ARPA.
I'll send you the Word doc. I can actually send everybody, if you're interested, the Word doc that I put together and sent to Jens. And he said that he doesn't see, I said, just make sure I didn't overlook anything. Because again, the transmitters or what need, and the receivers need, things need batteries and things need power cables.
Yeah,
So I just
get me
wanted
all
to,
that so that I can send Maria everything that, the 2 projects we want to
Right.
do and
Okay.
what the costs are going to be and can we, get moving on.
right. And then
I'm
for
doing-
the large ticket items, I gave a couple different stores, like I looked at prices and they're like within $1 of each other. So at least, it's like, in addition to
So you should have 2 things prepared. One is all the detail with the, the different options.
uh-huh,
The other is a summary that says, we need this and it's approximately this much.
okay,
She's not going to worry about the exact process until later. I just want to get
Okay.
her like the total numbers or the components of each with the estimates on the cost, but you need the specific backup for when she
Right.
says yes, once I get her to say
Okay.
yes.
okay, yeah, so that's all
Okay.
put together. I'll send you, Kate, I'll send you what I have, and then you can let me know if
Okay,
that is high level enough for Maria, or if it's a little
Yeah.
too,
because then we'll need something more detailed for purchasing, right? So, okay,
yeah, we'll
All right.
need this, good.
awesome. Is everything else working? Do you need anything else?
The only other thing I was thinking would be useful would be just some headphones for the cameras that actually cover your ears, because I bought earbuds, but the plastic ear, the little nubs fall off, and then you can't really hear anything when you're in the auditorium and people are walking around and talking. And I have there's a pair of headphones that Sony makes that are like $20 a pair, and I've got a pair and they work pretty well.
So just get those because we have money in our regular budget.
Okay.
That can come out of our miscellaneous.
Okay.
Okay, any other technical issues?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. We've got Adobe stock up and running. I happened to be in town hall, I don't know, dropping off a card or something, and I saw Jean and I said, hey, should we go
Perfect.
through that now? So we did, and it's great. I was able to download a couple templates and it's great. So
Okay, good. Thank you for following through on that.
yeah, I know, it was one of those things. I'm like, let's just get it done.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, how about marketing PR? We talked about Katie working on a TV show, so you're gonna reach out to some other options.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with my friend whose son graduated. I'm gonna follow up with her first because the chances are if he's available, he'll be able to get up and running quicker than having to
Yep.
go through Fairfield,
Yep, okay, good.
which will have to be, I'll have to do that at some point anyway, because I'm sure he'll get a full-time job and then that's that. So
Okay, Trumbull High Connection, you said you saw Nick and he's gonna bring his video production class through. We may be able to get some videographers or maybe even some marketing help out of them, right?
yeah, oh, you know what? I can also talk to another good person at THS would be Christina Rosati, because she teaches the business course. She does DECA.
Yep. What's her
Um,
last name?
Rusati, Rusate.
That's a good idea too. And hopefully they could get jazzed about marketing our election programming and our Trumbull High sports coverage. Those would be the two big.
Yeah, and I
Especially-
don't know, and I don't know if that would be like, an after-school activity, or if at some point that could be something that she could roll it into the curriculum. I don't know, because they do the food truck wars where the kids at the end of the year, they'll
Yep,
design the truck and do all the menu and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and the dry fit polos came. They look really nice.
nice.
Yeah,
Good.
much better. Thank you.
I just think we really have an opportunity to push the importance of the local elections, right? The state level elections that I think people sometimes forget about, but I think are gonna get more attention this year because it's an election year and people are going to be coming out to vote for the president. And they're gonna see these other choices on the ballot that we
Right.
can raise awareness that
And the
these
other-
races are happening. I think that's a good thing, right?
And the other thing that I had mentioned to the student was, that the master plan referendum is gonna be on the ballot. And
And what about the Hillcrest?
that's the master plan
Okay.
item. So I
That's-
mentioned to him that
oh, so
that's gonna
that's
be
the
on it.
other
I
thing.
said, you guys aren't, you and your peers aren't gonna benefit from it. My kids aren't gonna benefit from it, but that's a big discussion. So you may wanna, do some more looking into about that, because I know there's been a lot of talk about it, but I don't know how far it's rippled out other than just the rooms that it's being
The
talked
people
about
that
in.
are, yeah, focused on it. Yep, good one. Okay. All right, anything else we haven't talked about that we need to?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm just looking around at all my.
Matt, anything for you?
Nothing on my end, no.
Okay, good. All right, then, unless we have anything else, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Vince, thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Yes.
Yep.
All right,
Aye.
half an hour. I love it.
Great.
You guys.